Hello YouTube, this is OJ Cubing and welcome to my Rubik's Cube advanced tutorial which uses the 2-look CFOP method. As you can see below you, CFOP stands for cross, first two layers or F2L, orienting last layer OLL, and permuting last layer PLL. In this part 1 I will be doing the cross and F2L tutorial, but first of all let's scramble our cube. Right, well that looks about scrambled. So obviously the first part of the CFOP tutorial is the cross, which means we need to get this white cross here. And as you know from beginner's method, that has to line up with these as well. So the obvious thing that we can see here is that, well, if we pick the orange piece here, so we need the orange and white, which is up here. We can just rotate that down and put it up so that it's in the top. And this should be pretty intuitive. One thing we are going to change, however, is if we got one that's like this, rather than going like this and doing this algorithm, we are just going to put that back. We can see that this red needs to go here, and as there's no green here, it's not going to change anything if we use that to line these two up and then put it up into the top. And so as you can see here again, that can just easily go up. And then this one, we are just going to have to do that little algorithm because the red's in the way. But there we have a white cross. I encourage you just to kind of practice doing that, do it lots of times. The more you do it, the more obvious it becomes, and it's pretty intuitive, so you should be able to figure out how to do it. And another thing I want to express is that before you start solving your cube, always have a look at it and try and see what you can do. So I can see this blue can go up to there, but the orange is in the wrong place. That green can go up to there. And so before I start my time, I'll pick it up and I'll look at it, and I know that goes there, that can go there, and I can see that goes up there. So it's called look ahead. You need to use it if you want to be really fast at speed cubing. Basically look at your cube and see at least where your white edges are going to go. Next we're going to move on to F2L, obviously the first two layers as I explained earlier. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn your cube upside down. So you've got yellow on top, one on the bottom, or whatever face you've already done across on the bottom. So the idea of F2L is to make a pair of white corners with their edges so that align like this. And the way we do that is we want to try and find a corner, a white corner that's in the bottom layer, and if there isn't a white corner in the bottom layer, we find one in the top layer, and we just perform a sequence of R and U moves just like that, and that will get it down into there. Anyway, so we're then going to power up the edges, and then we're going to slot it into the place. So this is blue and red, so we've got blue and red here. We want to push it out of the way, move this layer up, that there, so that it's in place, and then bring it back down. And so this is how we're going to do the corner edge pairing. So for this there are 6 cases, but I like to think of it as 3 cases, but 3 are on the left and 3 are on the right, and they're basically just mirrors of each other. I'll explain what it is you need to do first, and then I'll give you algorithms to make it clear exactly what's happening. So this is case 1. It's when the white is on the bottom and we have an edge up here. This is case 1 to the left, because this piece here needs to go to the left down to there. And this is just the same as we had from the beginner's tutorial. So all we want to do is move this aside and that up, move that down there, slot that in there, turn it around, and then we can see we're going to put it in there like that. And so if we just do that again, the algorithm for that is U prime, L prime, U, L, and then we have this corner edge pair, and we need to place it so that it's above the slot it needs to go in, and it's on the right, so we're going to do U, R, U prime, R prime. So now we're going to try out on the right. So one thing I didn't mention with the left one is that it just has to be a white face on the bottom, and it doesn't have to be in the right slot yet. So you could just move that down to there. It's not in the right slot, but as long as you've got the white on the bottom, that's what's important. So we're going to focus on the red and the green one here. We've got a red and green piece here. As you can see, it needs to go down to the right. So we're going to perform the moves U, R, U prime, R prime. And that's paired up our corner edge geo. And we need to just rotate it around until we've got the red and green. Put it in front of it like that. This is on the left this time. So we're going to do U prime, L prime, U, L. So this is case 2. This time we're focusing on the orange, blue and white corner. And this is when the white face is pointing out to either side. And the important thing about case 2 is that when we've got the edge that corresponds to our corner, the piece that pokes out to the side, if we put it like this one is orange and this one is blue. And they are different. And then if we go top and bottom, this is blue and this is orange, so they're different. And that's what's important about case 2, is that they're different. And this is case 2 on the left. We want to position it so that the corner is in the front left of our cube and the edge is on the up front. And we need to do the algorithm L prime, U prime, L. And that's really easily just kind of got it up there. What we're basically doing is we are taking this piece and we're slotting it up to this piece so that it creates the pair, moving it out of the way, moving this white edge piece down. And then we have our pair, and we can turn it around until we've got blue and orange again, holding the white in front of us. And this is on the right, so we'll use the algorithm U, R, U prime, R prime. So case 2 on the right looks like this. When you find the edge in the corner, you put the corner over there so that the white is facing out to the side, technically to the right, and the edge is in front of you. And we're just going to do R to put that up, pair them up, U to move them out of the way, R prime to move this edge back down. We're going to move this top layer until we find that it needs to go between these two. And we are going to use U prime, L prime, U, L. So focusing on the green, red and white corner here, we have case 3 on the left. And it's when we find the corresponding edge. But as you can see, these do not match because these two are the same and these two are the same. Which means that if we just bring this up, then these are not going to be lined up properly. And the way we're going to deal with that is we're going to hold it so that the white is facing towards us and the edge is on top. And for the left case, we are going to do L, F prime, L prime, F. And that is paired up our corner edge geo. We're going to place it above the red and green. It's on the left, so we're going to do U prime, L prime, U, L. And again on the right, as you can see with this white, green and orange, and then we have the green and orange here. Those are the same, and the bottom and top are the same. Therefore, we have to do this again. And so we're going to hold it white facing towards us. It's on the right, so we're going to do R prime, F, R, F prime. That's paired up our corner edges. Put it above the green and orange, and we're going to go U, R, U prime, R prime. To summarise, I'm going to give a walkthrough of the cross and F2L. So I started off, I haven't started the timer yet, I've got some inspection time. I can see that if I move this green and white piece down to there, then I can move it up, and that would be the green piece in place. And same with the red piece, can come to there and move up. The blue, I'm going to have to move to go this way, which will destruct the red, but we can place that back afterwards. And the orange is over here, which I can fix afterwards as well, see where it ends up. So this will be the start of the timer, whatever. we're going to move that there, move the green up, move the red up into place, and move the blue up. And where's the orange gone? Conveniently, it's gone to there, so we can move that up into place. We're going to turn over. Here we have a white on the bottom, so we're going to find the blue and orange, because it's blue and orange. We're going to hold it on the left, which means we're going to do U prime, L prime, U, L, where we've got paired up. It's above the place already, so we're going to do U, R, U prime, R prime, and that's that thing in place. We've got here green and orange. We find our green and orange. It's these two are the same, so we're going to do case 3 on the left. So we're going to do L, F, L prime, F, sorry, L, F prime, L prime, F, U prime, L prime, U, L, and that's in place. Here we have a bit of a problem, you see, because we have the corner that we need and the edge that we need are in the same slot, but they're not oriented correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat those R and U moves, and we are just going to do what's called the sexy move. If anyone didn't know it, it's just R, U, R prime, U prime done 6 times. And if you do it 6 times, then it just does nothing to the cube. Here we want to do it so that it's only 2 times, I believe. So if we do it once, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. Then we have the white in the bottom, and it's separated it from the red. The red, as you can see, it's got red there, green and green. They're opposite, so we can just do the case 2 on the right, which is R, U, R prime. We find the green and red, which is here, and we're going to go U prime, L prime, U, L. Here we have this. Now here, we would normally just go like that, so that we had that in the bottom. But as you can see, this is already paired up. So we're going to just try and, you got to think about this basically. And you got to think about how you can move this into here, or at least into the top layer without being destroyed. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move it up, and we're going to do a U prime move like this. That way, this is out of the way of this layer, which needs to be moved backwards. So now we have the edge pair like that, and we can place it in like this. And that's just a little shortcut, which you don't need to do, but it's much more helpful to do. And this is basic F2L, and that's a basic sort of move. And now we have the first 2 layers complete, and we are ready to move on to OLL. So I hope this video made sense to you guys. I'll leave the algorithms in the description, as well as the link to the next parts. And hope this improves your F2L. Thanks, and have a good day.